Okay, so I have this little canvas here. I'm going to zoom you back out a little bit. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my ink pad, and I really hope this works, you guys. I'm just going to kind of color it on here like that. There's that one. And this one. This is Fired Brick. That little slub of something is, but we'll just get it off of there. Okay, and then Victorian Velvet. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay. And Wild Honey. And Peeled Paint. This may be a disaster, but what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to spray it. Move the ink around so that they all kind of blend. What about this? Well, I'm kind of liking that. Spray it a little bit more. A little bit more of the darker blue at the top. Now, I am not a watercolor artist at all. Many of you can probably already tell. But I'm kind of liking the way this is turning out, actually. Let's get my brush. Right. Okay, that's getting kind of muddy. Give it a little bit more. And before I do anything more, I think I'm going to dry it. I'll try to pick up whatever that little weirdo thing is. I kind of like these drips. This is a really weird canvas. Okay, so that's kind of an interesting experiment. Not really sure what I would do with it, but what if we were to spray some Distress Oxide on it? Okay, by spraying a little bit of water on it, it broke up some of the ink and make those cool spots, which I kind of like. So what would happen if I, okay, you need to shape these up. Whoop. I'm getting kind of a lot on there. Okay. I like that. Get a little wild honey down here. Oh, this is spray, stain. Gotta move my nozzle so it's pointed in the same direction as the tube. And then maybe a little, well, it's already wet, so I'm just going to dry it. So I'm just sort of playing with the texture of it. And I really like it. Now, what if we play with it a little bit more? What if we took a stencil and stenciled a little bit on it? Now, it might be a little bit hard to do because it's so bouncy, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? So I think I'll take a little bit of just the wild honey and then just sort of okay, that looks pretty cool. Maybe try a little bit over here. Use the same color. Giving it a little bit of background. And over here, I would like to put kind of work in more of the peeled paint. How about a little bit of number right there? Think I can do that? How about in vintage photo? Where's my vintage photo? Oh, here it is. Okay, you can barely see it, but that's okay with me. Well, this is getting kind of fun. A little bit of honeycomb up here. I don't want to introduce a lot more color. What I want to do is kind of just enhance the color that's already there. So I will take this aged mahogany. Okay, so I think you get the idea of kind of the things that you can do with this. Now I could do like a little some texture paste and things like that, but I think I want to save this back for playing with a little bit more later. But I really like the way this is turning out so far. So tell me what you think. Does this look like something that would be fun to do? Because I'm kind of having fun with it. What I'll do is I'll finish it up, and if it turns out that I really like it, which so far I do, maybe I'll post it on my Instagram page. Alrighty, so as you can see, I took the canvas and I did quite a bit of work on it, and I learned some things along the way. Some of the things that I ended up doing I wasn't entirely happy with, but as with lots of different kinds of art, there's always seems to be a way out. So one of the things that I did was I decoupaged on, well, first of all, I covered the whole thing with Distress glaze, this stuff right here, the Distress micro glaze, hoping that it would make it waterproof so that I could decoupage on it. Well, it didn't really make it waterproof, so that when I put this piece on from the collage paper from Tim Holtz, it picked up a lot of the ink and stuff that I had underneath it, and I wasn't really happy with that. So I think you can see too much of the edge here. And then it was a little bit better up here, but I still had to go back with some ink and kind of fill in some of the spaces there with an ink pad. Now, when I got to these pieces, I decided instead of putting the collage medium directly onto the canvas, I put it on the back of the collage paper and then laid the collage paper on there, and that seemed to work better. The edges kind of disappeared into the background, which is what I wanted. Then I also put some die cuts here in the background, and when I went to emboss it, it worked out pretty well until I over embossed it, and then it started to bubble up. So I wasn't really happy about that. So I covered it up with these embellishments, and I really like the way that looks. Here you can see a little bit better there. Now these are just plastic, they're not metal, but I like the way that looks. Then I also tried to, I worked with some of the texture paste, the Tim Holtz texture paste, and did that in the corner here in a stencil. And then I took a suggestion to put some glaze on it, Distress glaze, and waited for it to dry. Well, I put too much on, and so I had to take a paintbrush and just kind of brush it away from some of the edges here, but while it was drying, and I did a pretty good job with that, I think. The only thing that I don't like about this is this edge here, and I think had I thought about it, or had I known more about it, I would have put the collage medium on the back of the collage paper before I put it down, and I think that would have worked out really well. Other than that, I really like the way this turned out, and although I don't think it's good enough to sell. At least I learned a lot along the way, and I'll probably hang it in my bathroom. So anyway, so tell me what you think. If you have any suggestions, please leave me a comment below. Hope you enjoyed this little experiment, and I hope you get a chance to try it. And if you do, let me know in the comments. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in part 3 of this series. So happy crafting, and let the serendipity find you. Bye!